I want them to know that they should talk about it and do something, and never keep it inside.
No, keep that same energy. Keep that same Kavanaugh energy. Keep that same Donald Trump energy. Somebody can come from 200 years ago, from the grave, ancestry.com. They come from a long time ago to make a claim, and y'all believe it when it's a Republican, but you don't believe it when it's Tim Walz. I don't know, keep that same energy. Let's talk about it. This video is brought to you by TatumStore.com. TatumStore.com. Go right now and get you a yard sign. They're available right now. Check your email if you put your email in to notify me, or if not, and you just been waiting for it to be back in stock. The yard signs are back in stock. The Trump Vance yard signs are back in stock. Get them now because they're gonna be out of here. There was probably double the amount of people that requested than that we have in stock. So if everybody that was requested buy one, you ain't gonna get yours. All right. So go on and get it if you want it now. Link will be in the description section. Put a discount code up here, Nick, for the people that are watching. Here's a discount that you can use for the store. And I'd say if you use the discount, you might as well get a sign and some merch. Like and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into this. Okay, let's talk about this Tim Walz thing. You know, I've heard a rumor out that there was a person that was between the age of 14. I guess the person was 14 when it happened. That Tim Walz was in a relationship with this person between 14 and 18. This person from 1990 something has come out and not fully exposed himself, no pun intended, fully revealed his identity to the world and actually visibly showed up somewhere to make a complaint. He claimed he's going to consult a lawyer, and he's making accusations that Tim Walz took advantage of him when, as a teacher. I don't know if he would consider it just being as a student or as a potential mentor to him, that he took advantage of him and did some freaky neaky stuff with him. That was not in his full consensual control. When I say full consent control, that means that the person was so young they can be coerced into doing something that they think they want to do, but they really don't want to do because the adult is convincing them. Okay? You get what I'm saying? So there's a lot of stuff here I want to point out. I'll show you what the kid said. I guess he came out and spoke on a podcast called Red Pill 48. And so we'll listen to what the kids say. Allegedly. All this is alleged, right? There's no actual unequivocal proof and evidence. Now, let me say this real quick, because the media is going to come out and say, there is no proof. There is no. Listen, there's a difference between being no circumstantial evidence, right, than it not being true at all. Just because a person can make a claim and it can be true, it never was investigated. So therefore, it wasn't proven to be true in a court of law or in an investigatory capacity of local or federal law enforcement. But that doesn't mean it's not true. Now, what I'm saying with this is that it's not verified enough to me for me to claim that it's true. But I want them to keep the same energy, because if this was Donald Trump, if this was Trump Jr., if this was a Republican, they made Mark Robinson look bad, and they can't even verify that he was on the website. He said he wasn't on there. So anybody can use your email. People can find my email, look on the internet, find my date of birth, start some account, and write all kind of crazy stuff in and say, I'm Brandon Tatum. And people are stupid enough to believe that I would go on a website, not me, but him, but just say that they did it to me. That I would go on a website and put, I'm a black Nazi. I hate my own people. Like, that's what y'all say about me. I would never say that. If he was stupid, man. Anyway, let's play this clip real quick before I go off the deep end.
Tell me about your first encounter with Coach Tim Walz.
He would tell me.
Red Pill 78. I said 48. I'm thinking of AZ 48 here in Arizona. Red Pill 78. I don't know nothing about these guys' podcasts. You can look it up on your own. I have no idea. So I never seen it. I don't know what these guys are all about. Well, every time I hear Red Pill, I want to throw up in my mouth. But these guys may be cool. But anyway, allegedly, this person came to them. They interviewed him, and then also he put out a letter, allegedly, about Tim Walz. Roll the clip.
Like, your secrets, you can trust me, and I will tell you my secrets. We can trust each other again. And he would go with those like strange movements up to leg, back to my back again, touching my butt. Or he made it very clear that nobody is going to believe me, and I will be deported because of the wrong accusing of a teacher. I had a feeling for a long period of time that I cannot trust anyone just because something bad
Watch this guy's face. He finna laugh at him in a minute.
can happen. I want them to know that they should talk about it and do something and never keep it inside.
So they on Rumble and everything, and I haven't watched the full interview. Maybe I will at another time. I just don't have enough time to do that right now. Okay. So he made these accusations that, you know, he started crying on the recording, allegedly. I keep saying allegedly because it could be somebody in their basement in their underwear just making this up. Because I often find it very weird when you have somebody that waits to 20 days before the election to come out and say somebody touched them. You like, bro, that fool was the governor of Minnesota for 2 terms. Now you saying something because he's the vice president? Like, I mean, is it because now you think people believe you? Like, I don't get why people do this. That's why when people come out at the 11th hour, like, I'm gonna tell y'all this: nobody has done anything to me, right? So I haven't been touched when I was a kid, thank God. And if I did, I don't remember it, right? I have no recollection of anything like that. So, and the only reason I say that because I guess some people do ayahuasca, or they do treatment, and then like when they were a little kid and they couldn't consciously remember it, it happened to them. So they do ayahuasca and they remember somebody touched them, and then they come back and say, "This person abused me when I was 2." And like, if something happened to me, I wouldn't know, right? So anyway, if somebody did some foul stuff to me and they run for president, I don't think that I'll wait until that person is famous to say, "Look what they did to me." I don't know if I would do that. I know some people that have done some negative things to me. If they become famous, only reason I would say anything to them is if they try to lie about the situation in front of the world, right? They lied on some document against me and they put me through hell for the last several years. And then they go on and become somebody. And then they go on this thing about how virtuous they are and how good they are as this, and that. And then I may have to blast you on that. But I'm not finna never say nothing. And then when you the presidential candidate, I'm going to say something to you. Y'all can't see this. You probably don't want to see this. So I'll read a little bit of it to you. But I guess this is a part of an explanation from the guy of what possibly happened, right? And it says, one, he got the oral stuff happen to him. And he said that he obviously finished, if that's a good term, when they did something and he thought he was gay. And Tim Walz went through the process of telling them that it's normal and kind of coaching them through that it's good for you to know you're gay and all this other stuff. And he said he was afraid in here that Gwen, Tim Walz's wife, was going to walk in on him, and he assured him that he wasn't. And, you know, he made a description of some secrets that Tim Walz told him allegedly that it was secret. And he described some scar on Tim Walz's chest that it either is there or is it not there. Right? That's what I'm thinking. And so he goes on in this little letter. I wish I can attach it, but I can't. So that's just one part of it. All right. So this letter, I want to actually read this letter to you, because if you can't see it, I'm going to read it to you because I think it's important for you to hear this, and then you can determine if you think it's real or not. You think this person is fake. So this is pretty much a statement from the person who is alleging that Tim Walz did something to him. It says, "I have decided to make a public statement regarding the relationship between myself and Tim Walz. I also want to make it very clear that I was not the only victim of Tim Walz. I am hoping that others will come forward. I know that at least one other person who has come forward and has not received the publicity that I am now receiving. I wanted to give you some of the places that I went to with Tim Walz over the course of our time I was abused, and give you some descriptions or descriptive information of Tim Walz's body that may be helpful in the claim. I went to 2 concerts with Tim Walz at the Indigo Girl concert. And in July of 1995, I attended a country concert in Omaha with Tim Walz in Alabama. I was one of the students who accompanied Tim Walz and others on his trip to China. When Tim Walz received his DUI, it was after an evening he spent with me." Now, I didn't know Tim Walz had a DUI, but he got a DUI, and here's his mugshot. Okay, So he got a DUI. And you know what bothers me about this? These people grandstand and talk so much trash about Trump and everything. You got a DUI, bro? That's pretty negligent as a teacher and as a leader that you would be getting. In ex-military, you got DUI. You can't talk trash about too many people getting DUIs. I fully expect Tim Walz is going to retaliate against me and possibly my family. He has become a powerful individual, and I can tell you from experience that Tim Walz is an extremely angry individual when he is challenged on any subject or he is perceived to lose control of anything. I have to say that sounds pretty accurate. I know of at least 2 other students at the time Tim Walz spent at Nebraska that were taken to concerts and other events. In fact, Gwen Walz has made statements that she attended the Indigo girls concert with myself and Tim. That was not true. It is my belief that the day that Gwen Walz was with another student at the time at the same concert, but I can assure you she was not at the concert with me and Tim Walz. Convenient, huh? With that being said, Tim Walz has raised scars on his chest. I recall a Chinese symbol tattoo on his upper thigh. I remember he explained to me what it meant, but I do not recall at the time. I also remember a small scar on his left arm that was more like a soft burn. Of course, most people know that he has a hearing problem. It is my understanding that it's been corrected. Now, 2 things here. If I'm an investigator, I say, wow, that's very compelling that you claim to identify certain scars that are in places that only people who are intimate with him would know, or that's close to him would know. Now, my other investigator side would be, what alternative could be possible that would give you the knowledge that he has these tattoos, i.e., if he was a coach, and back then, probably in the 90s, he probably wearing booty shorts because dudes used to wear short shorts. If he's a coach and he wore short shorts and you just remember a thigh tat, if he's, a coach and y'all go swimming and he takes his shirt off and he has scars on his chest, if at any point he disclosed some information to you about his war and things that have gone on in his life, as a coach may do with certain people he's mentoring, then that can be a reasonable explanation of how you know this knowledge, but therefore you haven't been intimate with him, right? Because somebody having a Chinese symbol on their thigh is not necessarily mean that you're the only exclusive person that would know that, and that mean that you've been intimate with this person, right? But it don't rule it out, but I'm just saying that those things are possible. Somebody could have seen a picture of me on the internet with a thigh tattoo, and they go, I know something about Brandon. He got a tattoo on his thigh. Or I got Young Savage on my stomach. Most of y'all would have never seen that tattoo. An old picture I got on my Instagram that I just haven't deleted. Maybe I deleted it because I had my shirt off. And that was back when I wasn't popular. So I had my shirt off. Of course, I'm built. I had a 6-pack and everything. Now I got a keg. But, I'm working on it. But back then, somebody say, oh, I know a secret. He got Young Savage tattooed on his stomach. It's like, that don't mean me and you did nothing together, because you can find that on the internet. You can hear me talk about that in some of my speeches. That doesn't tell anything. Now, if somehow a person can thoroughly describe certain things about a person's genitalia, right? If just say you have unique stuff going on with you, nobody would know that. You wouldn't know that unless it was intimate with a person. Just like a woman, you go, yeah, it looked like this. It's unique because it's like this, and it's got something right here, and it's a mole or birthmark or something somewhere that only a person that's seen that will know that it exists, unless you can find a video where the person discloses it. Let me finish this. It says, I will be engaging in an attorney, and I will be bringing Mr. Walz to court of law if possible. I will be seeking full legal remedies against Tim Walz. My relationship with Tim stopped being physical. He's saying him and Tim Walz stopped being physical in 1996, but we remained in contact until 1999. I have decided that I will be contacting media members through my attorney, and will give a public come forward and challenge Tim Walz if that is the route that my attorneys believe I should take. Many people will attack my claims. Many will doubt my claims. Tim Walz and I know the truth. Between the ages of 14 and 18 years of age, Tim Walz was part of my life. It was a relationship that was unhealthy and has affected my life in some of the worst ways possible. Now, what's your thoughts on this, Brandon? Tim Walz have not even made a comment on it. Obviously, if he knows better, he would just not act like it didn't exist. If he start commenting on it, then people are going to start hearing about it and digging into it. But I want them to have the same energy, because when things like this, people get accused on the Republican side, they believe them. Blase, Dirty Dog Ford made up a scenario with him. She made it up. Like, this guy got some details, you know? Like, this guy saying he got scars on his neck. Like, she didn't even go as far as saying any of that. She claimed, I just know I was at some party, no evidence, no location, don't know who else was there, no other corroborating people. She claimed that he didn't go all the way, but he touched her inappropriately. And then she claimed she went home. Come to find out, she lived about 8 miles away from where she say she was. That's before Uber, taxis, and cell phones. So she would remember, if anything, if she got touched the wrong way, that she remember how she got home. Because if you walked, you will never forget that walk. 8 miles, you would be walking for like 4 hours. I think, let's see, it take a person, let's say a kid, a young, like, you've been drinking beers. She claims she was drinking beers. 2 miles would take you about an hour. Athletic, fit people can probably do 3 miles in 45 minutes. But if you walking down the street and you got to do a crosswalk and you got to walk around grass and you walking in the dirt and through a forest and you walking on the side of the freeway and then you got to get back on the main road and you doing all that shuffling, I'd say it'd probably take you at least an hour to do 2 miles or an hour to do 3 miles. Let's just say an hour to do 3 miles. It took me about 45 minutes, 50 minutes to do 3 miles. And I'm walking at a decent pace in a straight line around the block. I'm not obstructing by nothing. I'm not stopping. I'm not trying to figure out where to go. She knew exactly how to get home. I mean, so let's say 3 hours. So it took about, 8 miles. So it took about 3 hours to walk home with no breaks, no water breaks, no nothing. And she don't remember that. But she remembers some kid touching her on the bed. Didn't even take her clothes off, didn't do nothing, just touched her inappropriately. They put this woman before Congress to let her spew a whole lie. Then after that woman lied, you got a bunch of people came out and said all this. I don't believe all women. They said believe all women. Now they don't know the difference between a man and a woman. So they should believe all persons, right? Because an LGBTQ guy has the same rights as a woman, right? I mean, whatever. He could still be a victim too, right? So put him before Congress. Have him get his voice heard. That's a substantial claim from a person that's trying to be the vice president. So put it out there then. Since y'all put Trump out there, they actually found Trump financially responsible for a situation at a Macy's or something in a dressing room with no corroborating evidence. It was her story versus his story. And it don't make no sense for Trump to ever do that because he can hit any woman he wanted to at the time. Clearly. That's why he got so many wives. Fly him on private jet, let him touch it. Of course they were letting him touch it. They let dudes touch it that's broke. Dude ain't got no job and she let him touch it. She let him grab it and he broke. He just smelled good and dressed good. Y'all want to keep it real or not? Do they want to keep it real, Nick? Girl let a dude with no job touch it. And you think Trump is forcing himself on women. Shut up. Women will do anything for somebody. Not all women, but there's a lot of women that will do anything for a little bit of money. OnlyFans. Women will do anything for a little money. Women will do anything to get in a position of power and fame. They'll get their body up to do it. And then later on, they regret it, and then they claim somebody manipulated them. You don't go to Harvey Weinstein's hotel room on a 25th floor at 1 o'clock in the morning thinking he finna have a real conversation with you about anything. And you already know, people already got rumors that Weinstein was diddling people. But you go to his room. Who else had a room story like that? Some woman went to his room. It was somebody. I was like, you went to that man's room at 1 o'clock in the morning? Oh, it was the woman that accused Mike Tyson of raping her. She went to his room at 1 o'clock in the morning. What you think Mike finna do? Teach you boxing lessons? You know what he's trying to do. You know what you trying to do. You know what you want him to do. Ain't no woman going to somebody's hotel. You grown. If you were a kid, that's different. You unsuspecting. You a grown woman. You ain't your first rodeo. And you meet a guy that's a famous guy, and he say, come to my room at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. And you go up there. I can't believe he wanted to sleep with me. What? Stop. Stop it. Get some help. like Michael Jordan.
Stop it. Get some help.
Yeah, but anyway, back to the story. So y'all get a man a platform. I don't think nobody should have a platform that accuse you in the 11th hour. We can give you a platform after this is over, because you could have did this a long time ago. You suspicious. But since they do it to Republicans, we should be able to do it to them. Keep that same energy. It was alleged that Kamala Harris's husband slapped a girl on a date. They won't even talk about it. They say it's a rumor that Donald Trump made up or something. Unless somebody accuse Trump of somebody, they can't stop talking about it. That's all they want to talk about. And so we all know the truth. Anyway, I just wanted to make this video so y'all know that the accusations out here, because, of course, the mainstream media is never going to cover this because they don't want Tim Walz to look bad. Now, let's just say Tim Walz did this. It just tells you who he is. Is he going to step down as VP? No, it's the 11th hour. It just tells you who these people are. And looking at Tim Walz, I'm like, he probably did something like that. They don't seem out of the ordinary. He looked creepy. He looked like one of those creepy coaches with the blinders on, texting 14-year-olds on a chat app in his underwear. That's what he looked like to me. Anyway, I'll see y'all in the next one. I'm out.